Step off.
Come on, won't you say it loud? Ayo, we gon' turn this out. Tom Clock's main event. Dropkick now and powerbomb. Ayo, bro, let's bring this on. Hey, hey, what is up? Oh, captain, my captain, shoulder stuff. Power slam and suplex too. Hot garbage is just for you. Big breaker, cut a cold red. Figure four, hot times ahead. Since 2014, it's on. It's a 10 count, but stand up strong. Hey kid, no DQ, strong style. Chop, this is how it do. Tom Clock's main event. Tom Clock's main event. Tom Clock's main event. Tom Clock's main event.
Hey, what is up? Welcome back to the program. Look, if you think I wasn't ready, you were completely right. I was doing some stuff. I got 3 screens, yeah? 2 right here and a vertical. And I just realized the mic was not in front of me. So that stuff you just heard, you won't hear it on the audio download or download. You won't hear it on the audio download because I'm going to fix it. But you just heard it. You want to know why? Because I was not ready. Now, let me tell you what I was doing, man. I didn't know this little hoo-ha existed, but there's a dark reader extension you can add to your Google Chrome. I done added it. You want to know why? Everything's black. And if you know me, I like everything black. All right? It's all aware. It matches my mind most of the time, my state of mind. Black, dark, bleak. Look, don't be laughing at that. If there were a darker color than black, I'll wear it. Once they start making it, I'll wear it. It's not a problem. But until then, holler at your boy. Yeah, dark reader. I highly recommend it. I was changing the lighting up because like every time I'm here, it's like I'm in the center of the sun with the lighting. Yeah, it's because I got 3 screens glaring at me. So I'm like, there's got to be a better way, man. There's got to be a better way to do this. So I have found a better way. We will see how this goes. Let's get the ticker ticking if we can here. And we are getting ready to say some hellos to everyone who stopped by so far. Before we get started here today, I would like to remind everyone in the chat, as I do every time we're here, do me a favor, kids, smash the like button for me if you will. And if you are so inclined, if you would please share this on your Facebook page, I would greatly appreciate it. I always am very nice. I'm always very professional. You guys know that by now, right? I'm always courteous. You can't ask a whole lot more of me than that, okay? So please, do your boy a favor and share this show wherever you can. If you're on the Twitter, share it there. I refuse to call it X. I like the letter X, but I'm not going to call it X. It's a dumpster fire over there anyway. But if you're on the Twitter, share this link over there, drop it. If you're on Instagram, you can't really do much there because they don't like links because they're weird. But if you're on Blue Sky, you can drop it there. If you're on Tribal, you can drop it there. Any number of other places you could put this link, I would greatly appreciate it. It would mean loads to me. And we are today going to talk about the big show coming up tomorrow. Not the big show, not Paul White. We could talk about him if you guys wanted to, but that wasn't the plan. That wasn't the intention. The intention is to talk about the big show coming up tomorrow, which is, of course, AEW All Out. But before we start doing that today and really start cooking with gas, yeah, let's say hello to everyone who has stopped by so far. Ray, what's going on? Ray All Day is here. JP is here. Good to see you, my friend. David down under. Family's doing great, man. I appreciate you very much for tuning in. Daniel Hood. Daniel, what's good in the hood? If you were in the States, you'd be getting a dumb chuckle off that because it's pretty terrible. But you're in the UK, so you may not be getting a dumb chuckle off of it. Or you may be chuckling because it's so dumb. Either way, it's fine. Yeah? Good to see you, my friend. Maria is here. Maria's got to get herself a profile pic. I'm telling you right now. Maria, you are missing out. Put a cat pic up or something. It's good to see you. Ray All Day's having coffee in his Tom Clark mug. Well, God bless you and yours, Ray. That's all I like to say. Look, here's something else I'll say. I'm going to eventually retool the store and get it back up and running. It took steps last year to do that very thing, and I just haven't. That's kind of a crap excuse, isn't it? Well, I was going to do something, but didn't. That sucks, right? Anyway. Davey, what's up? Davey Boy's here. Davey Boy Squires is here. Oh man, you just got yourself a nickname. Sugar Shane in the house. Haven't seen much wrestling this week. One day out of surgery. Oh man, Shane, hope you're recovering okay, brother. Yeah, hope everything's going well with you. By the way, this Dark Reader is pretty freaking funky. It's awesome. Everything's black. Black like my soul. It's true, man. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Hey, I'm a nice guy, man. Right? But, like again, in here, black. No, I'm just kidding. It's not all black. Again, once they start making a darker color, I'll start buying it. Till then, this is all I got, man. Expect the boy to make an appearance anytime now. He'll be showing up at any moment. So get ready. We're flying solo here today, kids. You've only got me. And hopefully I'm enough for you. Yeah. But I'm the only one you got here today. I don't have any guests lined up. No one's on deck to hang out. But it's okay. You want to know why? Because sometimes we fly solo. That's just what we do here. But hopefully you will appreciate it. Before we really get cranking here today, kids, again, I'll ask you to smash that like button and please share this link on your social media. Again, thank you very much. I will remind you that Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast. If you're a fan of the show and you've never checked out this pod, please, and thank you, check it out. We are reviewing season 3. Episode 2 of season 3 debuts, premieres tomorrow morning on the YouTube at Boink Studios on the YouTube at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please bookmark, go subscribe to the YouTube channel and bookmark boinkstudios.com, B-O-I-N-K, boinkstudios.com. More on that in a bit. But if you'll do that, I promise you'll have fun with this pod, man. We have a lot of fun doing it. It's myself, Joe Higgins, and Jay Luft. And I promise you'll get something out of it, man. All right, for real. For real. So please go check out Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast. I'm telling you, you'll enjoy it. We enjoy doing it. Hopefully you enjoy listening and watching. So again, episode 2 coming out tomorrow, Saturday, September 7th, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And every Saturday from that point on, same time we've been releasing all 3 seasons until we have finished up with the show. In this iteration, if you guys pay attention to your news, then you know the season 4 is going to be coming next year. Holy Lord. Say it ain't so. It's so. We don't know when, but that's the buzz. They are doing season 4, Ray. Yes, the news broke a couple weeks ago. That is the nice way of saying we're never going to get done with this freaking podcast. I love doing it. Don't get me wrong, but my God, it's took us forever. It's fine. It's fine. I have a blast. Fernando, what's up? Fernando says Ted Lasso is excellent. Again, kids, boinkstudios.com. Okay? B-O-I-N-K, boinkstudios.com. And while we're here today, I'm going to do this before we get to the car. By the way, kids, thanks for indulging me here. I appreciate you very much. Thanks for being patient. I'm going to drop the YouTube link right here. If you will, go subscribe to that bad boy. I appreciate it, man. You'll find all the Ted Lasso content you could hope to find in terms of the Two Nations pod. You'll also find all the back episodes of this pod dating all the way back to number 1 in 2014. And you'll also get, of course, Tom Clark's 6M podcast. Right now, we're doing the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight trilogy. We just released The Dark Knight this Tuesday. This coming Tuesday, we're releasing The Dark Knight Rises. And we will be done with the Nolanverse, the Dark Knight trilogy from Christopher Nolan, Christian Bale, and a host of other folks. So we would appreciate it very much if you subscribe to that show as well. Again, thank you very much. And one more link for good measure, I do believe. And then we're going to kick this show off. Again, thanks everybody for being patient. I've been, and there's your link right there. Shisha! Boom. Thank you much. I appreciate all of you for doing those things for me. Means loads to me. Again, share those. I try to make the site look good, man. The YouTube is packed full of podcast stuff, man. It's taken a few years to get it up to this level, but I assure you, you won't get bored. There's a lot of cool stuff in there to dive into. So please, Maria says Dark Knight is the goat of all comics movies. Go check out our review. I think you'll be happy with it. It's Phil Lindsay and I on the 6M podcast. Guys, I appreciate your support on the main event. We've been going strong since 2014, 10 years this year. We're in season 11. You know, I very much appreciate your time and attention every week for cheering us on and always being in our corner. But again, I will kindly ask, check out Tom Clark's 6M podcast and Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast. All right, kids, thanks for that. We'll do a little bit more housekeeping in about 20 minutes or so. But until then, let's go ahead and start with what you came here to talk about here today, the AEW All Out preview. We got some stuff to talk about here. I can't wait to get into it, and I can't wait to get your thoughts. As of this moment, right now, there are 8 matches booked. One of those matches is going to be rounded out after tonight's edition of Collision, okay? And after that, you will have all 8 matches. Now, there could be something coming out of tonight. I don't know. That will be a 9th match. We shall see. Not sure what they're going to do yet. I'd be shocked if there wasn't at least something, okay? So let's go ahead and start off here in no uncertain order. Let's start off with Mercedes Moné versus Hikaru Shida. Now, I want honest opinions here. You guys know that I'm always up for healthy debate. I'm always here to talk about cool stuff happening in any kind of level of pro wrestling, especially for AEW, because we're covering the show here today. Choche, what's going on, my friend? Good afternoon, Brianne. We still have folks filing in. You guys are awesome. Choche, it's been a long time. Thanks for hanging out, brother. I appreciate you. Kids, I've dropped links in the chat. Please go check those links out. Thank you. I much appreciate it. But yes, the all-out preview, kicking off with Mercedes Moné versus Hikaru Shida for the TBS Championship. Here's what I will tell you. My opinion of the match with Mercedes and Britt Baker was not awesome. And you guys know when I do reviews, when I have guests on to do reviews, we don't make anything personal. We don't attack anyone on a personal level. If the match wasn't great, we don't say things like, well, so-and-so sucks, they should fire her. Okay. You'll get that on other shows. You're not going to get it on mine. Do you want to know why? Because I podcast with really smart people and people who have common sense and don't wish the worst on others. Okay. And I'm one of them. So if you listen to shows like that, do what you want. Have fun. But you're never going to get that content with me. But here's what I'll tell you about that match if we can flash back for just a moment. Everyone's making a big hullabaloo about the fact that AEW is not talking about Britt on TV right now. There are things that I happen to know that I really can't share. But here's what I'll sum it up for you. There's a reason why they're not talking about her. What does that mean exactly? Does that mean she's on the way out? I don't have that information. Do I know if there's any hot water to be in? Can't answer that either. But I do not think it's a coincidence, that Britt Baker's not being talked about in AEW programming. It does not mean that anyone's livelihood is going to be affected. Please don't misunderstand me. I'm not trying to do any wild speculation or make any bold predictions about who's going to have a job and who's not. Again, I don't do those things, all right? But I'm kind of not surprised. Does it mean anything big's going to come from it? I really don't have any idea, but we shall see. However, again, I do not think it's an accident or a mistake that they're not talking about Britt on live TV. That's my take. You can take that or you can leave it. Here's what I'll tell you though about this match coming up tomorrow. Excuse me, voice cracks. About this match coming up tomorrow, here's what I'll say. Hikaru Shida is going to give Mercedes Moné a much better match. A much better match. You guys know that, yeah? Hikaru is very good. Her and Mercedes are going to freaking kill it tomorrow night. They're going to kill it tomorrow night. 100%. You're going to be very happy with that match. We all will. Trust me. When you watch it, you'll go, holy cow. You'll think about this dude wearing the black, yeah? You'll think about this dude in the black telling you, hey, you're going to like this match, yeah? I promise you will. Because I'm not wrong about this. I ain't right about everything. But I'm telling you right now, unless the bottom just falls out and something wackadoodle happens, this match is going to be awesome. So if I were you, I'd batten down and get ready for that because that's going to be one to behold. Trust me on that. Jeffrey says this is going to be a good match, but Moné will win. I agree. Ray says Moné, good worker. Her mic is I can't see her lose to the ace, but I'd be happy if she did. I don't think she's dropping it right now. My opinion. Brienne says I want Shida to win. There you go. Who you guys want, man? Who you want to win this match? Go ahead and let me know. By the way, a reminder as we're going along, please smash the like button. It actually does impact the video, believe it or not, and it helps me along the way too. Please smash the like button. And I very, very much appreciate you guys doing that. Again, not asking for a donation or anything wacky. Just smash the like button, if you will, and please comment all day long. And if we don't get to anything you want to talk about right now, we always open the floor up at the end of the show. So feel free to save your questions if you want. Okay. Maria says, she thinks Britt mailed it in on purpose. I see why you would think that. And maybe you're right. However, I do not think that's what we saw at All In. I just don't. Because there's a level of professionalism that these guys and gals stick to. Now, is it unheard of for a wrestler to go out in the middle of the ring on live TV or a live pay-per-view and intentionally tank something? Of course not. It's happened. Yeah. Probably happened more than we realize. Okay. Do I think that Britt did that? I do not. There's a lot of things at play here. Okay. And one of them, not the least of which, is I don't think there's a lot of chemistry between her and Mercedes. That's me talking. All right. I didn't see it. I didn't feel it. There were several moments in that match where I personally was watching Britt and thinking, right? Like, I don't know if she's really caring a lot about this. But again, that does not mean I believe that she phoned it in. Doesn't mean I think she phoned it in. He says, happy late birthday to the boy. Yeah, man, he turned 16 this week. 16. I got one foot in the grave, baby. But don't worry, the one still in the living world, is kicking hard. I'm telling you, man. It's kicking like Man City right now. I'm telling you right now. That game last week was Man City and West Ham. That was a good game. But Man City they just dominate. I won't go too far down the rabbit hole. But if you watch the Premier League, you know what I'm talking about. Man City just freaking dominates, man. Woohoo. Yeah. So anyway, we'll see what goes on with this match. I'm very again, I think this match has the ability to, I won't steal the show. It's going to be one we're talking about after the fact. I firmly believe that. I think we're all going to be very happy with how this match turns out, for sure. So I will pick Mercedes for the win. Mercedes for the win here, kids. What are you guys thinking about this? Any more predictions before we move on to the next match? I'd love to hear it if you got one. I'd be curious to know what you guys think. But yeah, for me, it's Mercedes is keeping this belt. I honestly don't see her dropping it anytime soon. Maybe I'll be wrong. Who knows? Maybe I will be wrong. But we shall see. Yeah. Let's see here. I just checked the feed on Facebook to be sure I wasn't missing comments, because there are times when comments do not show up in the feed for whatever reason. It's weird, or in the thing here. So, yeah. Let's see. Sugar Shane says, although she's not a great talker, I want to see Serena Deeb fight Monet. I think it'd be a good match. Serena Deeb is very, very good. No kidding. She's very good. JP says, happy late birthday. I appreciate you. You think Britt fell out of favor with Amir Khan? There's more behind the scenes, Danny. I promise you that. I promise you. There's a lot behind the scenes with Britt. And I've alluded to that in the past, and I'm not going to get into it because I really can't, because I was politely asked not to, and I'm not one of those guys. So, but yeah, there's a lot more behind it. JP said, do you think that they put All Out too close to All In? Yes. They do it every year. How many years in a row has this been? Oh man. Way too close. They're going to change it? Probably not. I agree. It's way too close. But you know what? If they get the buys they're looking for with All Out, if they do the business ticket sales and pay-per-view buys that they want, hard to argue with it. But if it's not what they wanted, then maybe you could make the case of, hey, for next year we need to really re-examine this and see what the best course of action is. Yeah. Fernando says Sheeta's going to be Mercedes' biggest test in her AEW career. I don't know. Willow's very good, but I think Sheeta's more of a complete wrestler. So maybe so. Let's see. Ray says, will her bodyguard turn on her one day? Oh, well, you know she will. You know she will. Mercedes not going to get rid of her. Daniel says, I'm hoping there's interference. They can build a bit more of a storyline. I think they will have a good chemistry. I think they will too. I think it's going to be very good. I think it's going to be very good. All right, next match. Let's talk about this one. Let's go Kazuchika Okada versus To Be Decided. Isn't that fun? Tonight on AEW Coliseum, there will be 3 matches, and the winner of each match will face Kazuchika Okada, the Rainmaker, for the Continental Championship. Orange Cassidy versus Brian Keith. Lance Archer versus Mark Briscoe. Konosuke Takeshita versus the Beast Mortos. Now, I don't know who you got, okay? But I got Cassidy, and I got Briscoe, and I've got Takeshita. Although that could become Cassidy, Archer, and Takeshita. I think Archer might be a better fit, and I love Mark, but I think Archer might be a better fit because he'd be the big man in the match. I think it'd be interesting if it was the Beast Mortos, but I do think it'll be Orange. You know what? I don't know, man. Maybe it will be Brian Keith because they're building this thing back up with Jericho and Orange. So, yeah, we'll see. But what do you guys think about this? We often have comments here on the show that Okada's not being used to the best of his ability, being showcased the way he needs to be. I have consistently said, no way and no thank you to that, because I love Okada. I'm always in the bag for that guy, and I think he's getting along just fine. Because 2 things. 1, they can't wait to book him against Omega when Omega's healthy. And 2, when that dude turns on the Bucks, he meaning Okada, shut up. Shut up. It's going to be huge, man. I'm not kidding. You guys know it too, right? It's going to be huge. That pop he's going to get. He's getting a pop now, and he's heel. He gets a pop when he flips off the crowd. And they love him. You can't really, dude, Okada could do just about anything. He's going to get a pop. Because people know. People are smart, dude. Well, a person is smart. People are crazy, irrational, and silly. That's a variation of a Men in Black quote. So you get it, right? What's up, Toby? Says, I'd rather see Takeshita and Mortos in the main match. I'm okay with that, but it's Okada. And I love Okada. Okada can work anybody. But would the styles mesh with Okada the way they need to? I'm just asking a question. I think it'd be a great match either way. What's up, Orlando? Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for hanging out, dude. We got another vote here for the Beast Mortos. Hey, man, that dude has no business moving the way he does, and everybody here knows it. Absolutely no. There's absolutely no reason why that guy should move the way he does. It is freaking nuts, okay? Ray All Day says, love the new Okada. He's awesome. He did so much before. Give the guy a break. Yeah, that's what we've been saying for a long time here, right? Is the idea that that Okada carried New Japan on his back. He and Tana, and then it, eventually became all Okada. I mean, I love it. I love the guy, honestly. Brian says, I think Orange will win. Really? That's it. They could. Wouldn't that be something if Kenny's music played and it distracted Okada and Orange pinned him? Not saying that's going to happen, but wouldn't that be something? Tubby says heel Okada is money. Agreed. I really need to see a feud with JY or Roosh. Roosh is an absolute freaking monster. I need to see Roosh versus Pac like every day. I'm pretty sure like the planet would eat itself if we got Roosh versus Pac every day. Kidding me? Saying. Danny says, who is Mox talking about when he mentioned they are taking over AEW and another? Is he done with the BCC? Boy, it sure feels that way, doesn't it? Because the BCC is operating independently of Mox. They're not talking about him. He's not talking about them. He's got Roddy's wife hanging out with him. Remember what I've always said about her is that she's missing something. Well, turns out she's missing John Moxley. Now, here's what I'll tell you. She's not gotten in the ring since this Mox stuff started happening. Okay. Because I have said consistently she needs different gear. And the barefoot thing, in my opinion, should be re-examined. But that's me talking, right? That's just my own thing. That I don't believe the crowd has ever really taken her as seriously as they need to, because she has improved quite a bit. Is she at Mercedes level? Is she, is she at Sheeta's level? I don't know that I would say that, but it does not mean that she can't get there, right? But it does mean more reps against quality opponents, and it does mean that, again, in my opinion, the gear, the gimmick, all that stuff. But we'll see what happens. I do like her next to Mox, though. Maria says Takeshita versus Okada is going to be so dope. 100% agree. And in AEW, Takeshita can pin Okada, but that would never happen in New Japan, right? But it could happen in AEW. Brianne says, I've been hearing that Kenny will possibly return by the end of the year. That'd be awesome. I like Kenny, man. At any given time, I've been kind of on Kenny, but I like the guy, man. I think he's a smart dude, honestly. JP says, I thought BBC was breaking up since Danielson and Mox has seemingly left the group. You say that, but then Danielson was with Claudio and Wheeler. You know what I mean? They don't really talk about it that much, but it was mentioned on commentary. Look, it's another one of those weird things in that company that it's like this big in the grand scheme of things, but it can be this big if it's not, maintained correctly or booked correctly. My opinion, man, that's how I feel. Fernando says Shane McMahon is the secret leader of the new Moxley faction. Toby on my page, the rumors are the Mox thing is a prelude to Shane and Matt coming in. I will say the same thing today that I said before when we talked about Shane, when the rumor broke and in subsequent weeks after that. What does Shane McMahon bring to the table that they do not currently have? And you can't say his name, because the idea of a talent will make people turn the channel. We've only seen that work in very, very short term. I do not believe that the addition of Shane McMahon is going to cause that company to get 1 million viewers a week moving forward. I don't see it. Now, I have been wrong before. Yeah. So this is not a guarantee of anything. By the way, in case you weren't aware, I don't guarantee anything on my show. You want to know why? Because I got a brain. I can think for myself, and I'm human. Okay. Which means I have just as much ability to get this wrong as everybody watching right now and after the fact. That's the truth. I'm not going to back myself into a corner. But again, I'll ask you, what does Shane McMahon bring to this company they do not currently have? That's how I answer. You answer it. Because I know what my answer is already. I can tell you what I think, but I'd love to know what you think. Think about that. Bring it up an open floor if you want to. I'm saying it's an honest question, and it's not trying to bag on Shane at all. What has Shane accomplished in the pro wrestling business aside from his family name? No disrespect, implied or given. It's just a legitimately honest question. That's all it's meant to be. That's it. Not an attack, just a question. Maria says, never seen ever in wrestling. I could not agree more. I could not agree more. Toby says absolutely nothing. He says his dance moves. Danny says, I was about to say his last name. You can say that if that's what you believe. That's fine. Maybe that means something to some folks. It doesn't for me. And I do not believe it's a needle mover. Again, maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe they bring him in for some hoo-ha bit of whatever, and the ratings get spiked and they take off. Not to beat any other company, but to gain a more substantial foothold for themselves. Maybe I'm wrong, and that's what we're looking at. Could be. It's entirely possible. Toby says, Tom, to be for Shane could always teach him how to throw a punch. The problem with Shane's punches is they hit, they connect, and they don't. He either misses by a country mile or he breaks your freaking jaw. Want to know why? Because at some point, remember those years when he was a younger man falling off stuff? What happened after that? Because he came back when he had salt and pepper in his hair, and all of a sudden, he can't throw a punch. All those guys behind the curtain and gals, no one ever pulled him aside and said, Shane, buddy, you either going to kill somebody or get us laughed out the building. Here's how you throw a punch. I'm just saying, baby. I'm just saying. Eric Jackson, what's up, my friend? Orlando asking about Ricochet. I think they have just as much of an ability to screw this up as they do anything else. Not intentionally, but they do have so much talent. Getting Ricochet booked with the right people at the right time and showcasing him to showcase his abilities and his moves. I mean, he wasn't on the show Wednesday. Like, why? I didn't miss something, did I? I've watched Dynamite. He's not on the card tomorrow. Why? Hey, look, it's just a question, man. Doesn't mean they're already fumbling the ball. It's just an honest question. What's up, Faye? Good to see you. We had Faye on last week. Great show. Great show. All right. Let's talk about the next match, if we can here. MJF versus Daniel Garcia. If anyone has been more of a critic of Daniel Garcia, show him to me, than me. Because I've been pretty freaking critical. The dumb dance, the horrible music. Again, just my opinions. Take it or leave it, right? I've said for months now, Daniel Garcia is very good, but there's absolutely something missing. That's how I feel. And that promo he cut on Wednesday on MJF, probably the best promo he's ever cut in that company, in my opinion. Leave the dancing at home and someone get this man some music. A guitar riff, heavy metal, hardcore Jay-Z. Give me something. What he's got, horrible. It says nothing about who he is. If you disagree, that's fine. I'm just giving you my take, man. I mean, they're not calling up Tom every chance they get to ask what Tom thinks about anything, right? So it's okay if they don't change anything. I guess if he wants to come out, if he wants to dance his way from the dressing room, I remember like Goldberg come out with the cops. What if Garcia danced all the way from his dressing room to the ring, got beat up, and then after the bell was rung, danced all the way back to the locker room? Here's what I'll tell you. This match is going to be very good, and I believe that MJF is going to bring a lot out of Daniel Garcia. I do not believe Daniel Garcia is winning this match. I could be wrong. I think it would be a tremendous rub for him to beat MJF tomorrow night. I do not believe, however, that we're going to see it. Do you say never? No. That's nuts. Never say never, as was pointed out earlier. Crazy thing to do. Don't freaking do it. Do I think it's going to happen tomorrow night? No, I do not. But that's me talking. What do you guys think about this match? Are you looking forward to it? Does anyone share my opinions of Danny Garcia, or do you think I'm being too hard on the guy? Fernando says Danny Garcia has the same problem Pete Dunne has in WWE. Well, Pete Dunne got off to a false start because they changed his name, put a stupid hat on him. That didn't help his cause any. The rest of us were sitting back going, look what they did to Pete Dunne. Did you see that? God, these guys are friggin' idiots. That was what we did. Yeah. If you tell me you didn't do that, you're lying. You're working me now. Don't work me. We all did that because it was dumb. I'm just saying. Toby said Danny's grown on me, but he needs to go back to his indie days, be more of a serious fire than a comedy act. I'm with you. JP says, how many times have we said that they have too much talent and they cannot get them all on TV? I still, when I say they have a lot of talent, that's not a critical analysis from me. That is just me saying, you want to load your locker room, load it. You want to load 3 locker rooms, load them. But have a plan. And there does not seem to be a plan for some of these talents. Why is Danhausen not on TV? I got an idea. Can't tell you. Sorry. I shouldn't do that. That's mean, isn't it? They says, you know how I feel. Oh, for sure. And look, maybe after tomorrow, look, should he beat MJF? Actually, he probably freaking should. What if it was a quick roll up? Look, a win's a win, baby. A win's a win no matter how he gets it. I don't mean someone should distract MJF and it's a fluke victory, but like a win's a win. I'd take it. I think that'd be good for him. A pin is a pin is a pin, right? You could always use it in every promo moving forward. Honestly. Maria says, I'm not sold at all on Daniel Garcia. And look, we're just talking about his AEW presentation here, kids. I mean, the stuff he did before, a lot of fans remember that stuff and followed him and appreciated his work. I just wish we could get back to more of that variation of this guy's character, what he did before, as has been suggested here. JP says, unfortunately, MJF is going to win. I believe he will. We'll see. Really want to make people believe Danny's a legit star, give him a win. That's kind of what I'm saying here. Like if you want the crowd to get behind a babyface, he's got to win. He's got to win. Doesn't mean he wins every week, but he's got to get some quality wins. And I think MJF would be a massive, massive quality win. Ray says, I don't like the excuse they have a trios division. They can feature. They do have a trios division, but they fumble the ball, as Chris Patton has said here more than one time, and he's not wrong. Trios division is a mess. We'll go into it in a second. I'll give you proof of how things are kind of a mess. As if you need proof, right? Faye Divine reminding folks of Daniel Garcia, Dragon Slayer, IWTV, Daniel Garcia, or the Pure Champ Garcia. Yeah, the Pure Ring of Honor Pure. Yeah, I'm with that. I'm with that. Let's move right on here, kids. We're going to go through one more match, then we're going to take a small moment to watch a little something. Let's talk about this. This is what I was alluding to just now. The Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, that's Matthew and Nicholas Jackson to you, versus the Blackpool Combat Club, still being billed as BCC, Claudio and Wheeler Utah, for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Why? Why? I mean, we've done the Acclaimed, but true. We've done FTR, true. MXM collection, Dark Order, House of Black. How many tag teams or variations of tag teams are here? Anybody, any pairing from a conglomeration? What about that? Any pairing here that's a legitimate tag team? I mean, and at least Claudia and Wheeler are in a stable. At least you can say that, okay? But again, why are they on the show? Not why are on the show. Why are they competing for the tag team titles? That's just me talking. All right. It's an honest question. I ask questions. That's all I do. That's all I do, man. Faye says, I have no problem with the match. I just would have enjoyed the build for sure. Augie Andy, what's up? Is there rumors going around that Roman bringing a big dude to SmackDown? I do not have any idea, but I don't know who it would be if he did. I'm trying to think in my head of who's available and who would sign. Tama and Tonga Loa's brother, Tala Tonga, also known as Hikuleo, is supposedly coming in. The boy's here. Everyone say hello. Get down here and say hello. Oh, yeah, there he is. Look at that stuff going right there, man. You got my key? You lock the door? Count my key? You lock her from the inside. Oh, okay. All right. Well, there you go. So, wasn't that fun? The boy just shows up randomly. It's good stuff, yeah. So, yeah, I'm good with this match. Whose question was I answering? Oh, sorry, Andy. I don't know, man. I mean, it's entirely possible. We'll see, right? We'll see. Toby says, all the Grizz are going fat. I forgot about the GYV. It's too early for tag team title shot. Yeah, way too early. But you're not wrong. Push somebody, build the division back. Can't argue with that. Can't argue with that. Brienne says, I want to see BCC win, but they've already got the trios tag team. You see what I mean by the trios thing being a mess? And then throwing random tag teams and matches together? It's weird. Is that weird to anybody but me? It's what they do, I guess. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it, man. And he says, well, I think about Zilla Fatu coming in. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. That isn't that, there was a clip of him somewhere because Phil Lindsay and I were talking about that. I think this is the same guy I'm thinking of. I think if it's the same one I'm thinking of, I got thoughts, but I don't want to speak out of turn. You know what I mean? I don't want to speak out of turn, but isn't he doing the barefoot savage, Samoan thing with the paint and all that, like Umaga used to do? Because if it's who I'm thinking of, that's who it is. Not savage, but you know what I mean. I think we're talking about the same guy. If it is, I got thoughts. Keith says need a gimmick match of some kind for the tag belts. Have the Elite have their heads shaved if they lose. Ooh, that'll never happen. Well, again, never say never, yeah. Or have Claudio wear a wig if he loses. Have Claudio. I've never heard of a loser gets hair match. Oh, that's fun. That's too fun. That's so fun I can't stand it. Tonight it's a loser gets hair match. It's a no hair versus no hair match. Boy, wouldn't that be interesting? I think I'd kind of be here for that, if no other reason to get a laugh out of it. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. Faye says, Keith, please do not speak that evil into the world. Well, Keith done ruined it for everybody, didn't he? Yeah. Way to go, Keith. Ruin everything. No, I'm just kidding. I like that idea. What's wrong with no hair versus no hair? I'd be okay with that. I'm totally okay with that. Yeah. Let's see. Toby says All Out being so soon after All In makes it feel rushed, just throwing matches together to have a card. Yeah, again, man, we've said for a while that it's booked way too close. There's got to be a reason. You know what it is? Neither do I. Neither do I. Sugar Shane says Top Flight and Private Party both need a manager. It's weird. Again, two really good tag teams kind of just sit. But look, they're both getting work. It's not like they just sit in the locker room and do nothing. We're just talking about one show. You know what I mean? Not the end of the world. I don't want to overanalyze this thing to make it seem like that everybody's getting crapped on, right? Because I don't think that's the case. I just think that for this one show in particular we're talking about, there's a lot of weird stuff that's either happening or not happening. I don't get it, right? But that's how it works when you're a pro wrestling fan. A lot of stuff you just don't get because it's booking is booking, my friends. You know how that stuff goes. All right, kids, we've been here almost an hour. We're not done. We're going to go through this card and get her done. Get it done. Ooh, excuse me for that. I did not mean to say that. That's not my thing, baby. Trust me. By the way, I'm still catching up on the New Japan show that was in DC. I'm trying to catch up on it. Crazy that I have yet to finish this thing. It looks good though, man. I got to check this out. I may check this out during, I was going to say the break, but there's no break. You guys know we go hardcore here, right? No rest for the wicked, baby. All right, kids, before we go any farther, we've already talked about boinkstudios.com, and I want to run as a little something here for you. It was only about 22 seconds, but do me a favor, take a look at this, and while I'm showing this to you, do me another favor and smash that like button if you have not done so. In the meantime, check this out.
Boink Studios is the home of Tom Clark's Main Event, Tom Clark's 6M podcast, and Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast. Visit the site today for links to every podcast platform, social media, special announcements, and a lot more. Check out the site and bookmark today, boinkstudios.com.
Don't tell me that song ain't getting it for you. Because if you tell me that, you're lying. That thing hits. I like it. I didn't play bass on it. It's okay if you don't like it. You don't want me to insult me, but I like it. I think it fits. That's kind of stuff they need to give Garcia. Wouldn't it be great if like Daniel's middle name started with an O and he could be the dog, right? Not the War Dogs in New Japan, but man, can you imagine? Oh, that'd be fun. I'm just trying to think of something. Again, they haven't called me for the booking committee yet. I've been waiting for a good long time. What's the matter with this thing? No one's calling me. Tony, if you're watching, and I know you are, Tony, holler at your boy. I've been waiting to sell out my whole life. No problem with it. I've got no ethics. There's no moral upstanding happening here when cash is involved. Present some compensation. I was going to say, show me the money, didn't you? I did. Come on. Present the funds. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Robbie, we spoke a little bit about Britt earlier. I have no confirmation that she has been released. But I know stuff I can't tell you. And that makes me a crappy friend. Makes me a professional host, but a crappy friend. So try to forgive me for that. Please? We'll see how this goes. By the way, I do believe the Young Bucks are retaining. But we shall see. We shall see. All right. Let's talk about Willow Nightingale versus Chris Statlander in a Chicago street fight. Of course, Statlander with Stokely Hathaway. Here's something else I'll tell you about the ladies. When some of these ladies ball, they really ball, okay? Willow and Chris are going to break some hearts. They're going to pull people out of their chairs, and they're going to do some serious van damage tomorrow night. This match is going to absolutely rule. It's going to absolutely crush. This match is going to absolutely make every one of you people rethink your life choices. That you should have been a pro wrestler, that you should have bought tickets for this show. Something. That's how good it's going to be. Remember, you heard it here. You heard it here first, possibly, but you heard it here either way. I'm just saying. Faye says, I think Stat has to get the win. I agree with you. We shall see. Brienne says, hey, Faye, bring it. I got Willow, Faye. Freaking what? Faye? Forget you, Faye. Don't get mad at me. Brienne done said that stuff. I didn't say that. That's her words. Oh, well, she implied it. Chad Too Bad is with Faye and says Stat wins. Toby's also with Faye and says it's time for Stat to get a win in this. Brienne, you are getting ganged up on hardcore. JP says Chris Statlander will win because Willow is supposed to be the expert street. Well, that's a good call. There's a vote for Willow. Brienne, you got another believer here. Maria, pardon, is all in the bag for Willow. Hey. Toby says, I need Stat versus Camille in my life ASAP. I hope this thing with Camille works out. Nothing against her. I just do not believe she's been presented strongly at all. My opinion. We don't have to go back to that match. It's just a statement. Ray says stat for the W. I love Willow, but stat is due. I agree. Faye says, I think that too many things are going right for Willow right now. What a great analysis. You know what? Way too many things are going good for this Willow chick. She needs to start losing something. Let's like slice her head open and run her through some glass. No, I'm kidding. No, I get what you mean though. Yeah, dude, there's going to be some blood in this match. I promise you. Oof. I'm not here for women bleeding all over each other per se, but I'm here for women who have earned their spot and have what it takes to deliver in the ring, be showcased properly. That's what I'm here for. If those women choose to juice, let them juice. The guys do it. They're allowed sometimes. Why not? Danny says, any thoughts on Tessa being blacklisted? She's been blacklisted for a good long time, man. This has been a topic we've talked about for what, 2 years now? It's been, I think, something like that. She brought it on herself. The only thing, look, if she had only apologized when things happened, but the problem is she did not. And I saw this interview where she's crying and stuff. And look, I'm not trying to make fun of anybody or make a lot of anybody's situation because I'm not in her shoes. But I'll tell you this, you know, reaping what you sow and all that. I'm just saying, man, reaping what you sow. Again, don't know Tessa, never met her. Maybe the best person ever. But handled her situation, handled her business terribly. Way too much happened. Way too much happened, man. Debbie says Tess got what she deserved. I mean, you know, look, here's how you know it's bad. Here's how you know it's bad. The biggest pro wrestling company in the history of forever had Ric Flair's daughter with the championship. Take a minute and appreciate this. Ric Flair's daughter with their women's championship. And they could have signed Tully Blanchard's daughter to face her. And for the first time in a long time, we would have heard the words Flair and Blanchard uttered in the same breath on live TV. Why didn't it happen? Because it's as bad as you think and worse. That's why. Because even wackadoodle old dude that ran WWE wouldn't make it happen. There's a reason. You understand? A reason. You think it's because I didn't like her? There's a lot more there. And again, you reap what you sow. You reap what you sow. Ray, I won't get into it here. Take a minute and Google, but when you Google, try to go to some reputable sources. There's things you stay away from. Ringside News is one of them. By the way, I usually don't call anybody out on my show because my show's this big in the grand scheme of things. If you get your news from Ringside News, I feel bad for you and yours. Leave that website alone. Ooh, I don't care. Come at me. I don't really care. My age, I could care less. Come at me. Horrible. Horrible. Worst the worst. How bad? In 2010, when I was writing for Bleacher Report, we're going back 14 years, baby. From 2010 to 2017, when I wrote for Bleacher Report in those 7 years, we knew then. Saying. Joseph Ricci, what's up, my friend? How are you doing? Thanks for hanging out. Chris Patton is here. What's up, brother? How you doing? I'll ask you off mic how things are going work-related. I won't do it here. Hope you're doing good, man. Faye done said it. Look, Faye, look what you brought down upon this show by saying two simple words.
Hot garbage.
Oh, my. You love it. Every one of y'all love it. Don't even be lying about it. Don't even be lying about it. Yeah, Joseph, so what were we just talking about? We were just talking about the fact that it's been this way for a long time. This didn't just happen. This didn't happen this year. This has been since she, effed around and found out. Oh man, I wrote for Sportskeeda for a while too. Let me tell you. That's my only comment. I'll talk to you off mic. But yeah, I wrote for them for a while. Toby says, I get my news from Tom Clark. That guy knows his stuff and is quite handsome. I bet you say that to all the girls. Look, I don't really do news. I just give you my opinion and give you my analysis on things. I never called myself a breaking news guy. I've always considered myself an analyst. That's what I've always considered myself. I can watch any show by any company and give you an honest analysis of things I saw that played out during the match, bumps that I saw that may have, you know what I mean? But again, it's one guy talking. That's all it is. I never proclaimed to be anything other than what I am, which is maybe why I don't have 1 million followers. Because if I got on here and cursed and yelled and screamed every time I was on mic or on camera, maybe I'd be somebody. I could have been somebody. I could have been a contender. Not me. I'm a bum. That's what I am. But I'm like MJF, right? I'm a bum, but I'm your bum, right? Heck, maybe I'm not. I don't know. So yeah, look, I think again, I think Stats winning this match. I think it's going to be one we don't forget, and I think they're really, really going to bring it. I'm very, I really can't wait for that. It's going to be a great match. We got 3 left to talk about, and then we're going to take it. We're going to get out of here so we can start a weekend. Yeah. Will Ospreay versus Pac. Singles match with AEW International Championship, not to be confused with AEW American Championship. Who you got in this one? Ospreay or the Madman Killer Pac? I'd love to hear it. I do not believe Pac's winning this. I do not think so. Could be wrong. Do not think so. While you guys are formulating your answers, Maria says, is SRS and Fightful trustworthy? I haven't seen a lot to lead me to believe that they're not. That's an excellent question. You guys know I do a lot of work with Phil Lindsay on Tom Clark's 6M podcast, now available wherever you get your podcasts. Huh? Come on, bring it. But I do a lot of work with Phil, and Phil, of course, is on Grapsity. We highly endorse the Grapsity podcast here, kids. It's usually on Saturday mornings. It's him and Reg, Righteous Reg. They do a bang-up job. Phil is the man. So please go check out Grapsity. They're part of the Fightful family there. So yeah, go check them out. There's been things that Sap has said in the past that I'm kind of, right? The way he approaches things, but he's not me, right? He's in a much different position than I am. So I'm not going to throw shade at anybody. But from what I've seen, I feel okay pointing you in their direction. They some of the podcasters they have, right? But I'll always steer you towards Grapsity. How about that? Go check out Grapsity if you don't check out anybody else from that corner of the pro wrestling world. How about that? Da, 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 da. Here we go. Brienne says, go Will Ospreay. Maria says Ospreay as well. Pardon that drink of water. Let's see. Toby says the winner will be us. It will be epic. Hey, hard to argue with that. Pat just walks around killing people all day. Stone cold murderer, that guy. I'm telling you. JP says Ospreay is a way to not have him lose this close to All In. Yeah. Let's see. Joseph Ricci says Ospreay, obviously. Yeah. I love Pac. I wish Pac could get a little bit more. I think the Lucha Bros leaving AEW is going to, I think it has the potential to negatively impact Pac. But I hope I'm wrong because I love Pac. Pac's a freaking madman. Fernando says, we'll just got the title back. He's not going to lose it. I'm inclined to agree with you. Robbie says, chanting Ospreay. Ray all day says, Wednesday has a great show too. Me and Majestic. Oh, there you go. Yeah. What's that one called again? Is it Tailgate or something? I've watched your show before. Toby says, Pac legit looks like a guy that would love to hurt you. Oh, that's what he does. That's all he does. I think we Jay and Joe from Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast, along with myself, talk about and joke about this guy all the time. That he just walks around in his gear, he sleeps in his gear, showers in his gear, never wears a shirt. Don't think Pac owns a shirt. Straight up madman. This match is going to be good. The match is going to be very good. You can't look. There's not a whole lot more you can say about Will Ospreay that hasn't already been said. The guy is freaking phenomenal. There is just no. Will Ospreay will be one of those guys that you talk about for the next 15, 20 years, maybe longer. I'm not kidding. He'll be one of those guys. I don't think we'll ever forget Okada. I don't think we'll ever forget Tanahashi. We'll never forget Kenny Omega. I don't think we'll ever forget John Moxley. Sometimes I look at the current crop of guys and I wonder who will be Hall of Famers and who will be on the Mount Rushmore of greatest of blah, 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 whatever, whether it's their generation or all time, whatever that looks like. I mean, Ospreay's, he's carving out a bona fide Hall of Fame career as we speak, and it's happening in front of us. Count yourselves lucky. Look, I've said this before, but it bears repeating, okay? For those of you who miss the Attitude Era because you're too young, first of all, you're children. I'm kidding. But if you just came after the Attitude Era and you didn't see Austin in his prime, you didn't see The Rock in his prime, the only Rock you know is the guy wearing the shirts coming back and standing around and pointing the finger up there with Roman. You missed out, unfortunately. You can go back and watch the replays, and it's awesome, but you missed out, yeah? But count yourselves lucky. You live in a time and age when you're a pro wrestling fan, when Okada is here now. You see what I'm saying? Ospreay is here now. Omega coming back is here now. Moxley is here now. Guys that we're going to be talking, Malachi Black, stuff that you'll never forget. Bryan Danielson. If you'd been born 10 years later, you wouldn't know much of anything about it. You see what I'm saying? I'm just trying to make a point here. Count yourselves lucky that you're living in the time you live in, man. He says, Ospreay all day. Yes. Faye says that's what I grew up on. There you go. And look, don't get it twisted. But some people believe the Attitude Era is the greatest time in the history of the business. I completely disagree. I could not disagree more. It was phenomenal. It was a great time. But for anyone to tell me that it was the best era in the history of wrestling, I disagree with that. It was great in as much as it elevated the game to where it is today on a national level and made mainstream publications cover it and take notice and turn their heads and pay attention to this weird thing called pro wrestling. But I do not believe that Attitude Era is the greatest era of all time. I just don't believe that. That's me talking. That's my own view. Maria says, too bad Muta was too old to have a prime match with Okada. Oh, can you imagine? That's one of those superstar dream matches you just salivate over, man. So, yeah, Ospreay versus Pat, going to be a banger. I think we can all agree. Let's talk about, I want to do the world champ first. The aforementioned Bryan Danielson defending against AEW, defending against the challenge of Jack Perry, TNT champion. And this is for the AEW World Championship. I know what you're thinking. Why is Jack Perry getting a title shot? I know, and I can't tell you. It's not earth-shattering. And if I told you, you'd go, what? But it's nothing that's like deep, dark secret. But again, I'm not at liberty to say. But here's what I'll tell you. They'll make the best of this. Danielson will give him an excellent match. Perry will, I think Jack will be fine. But you're sharing the stage with Bryan Danielson. Yeah. And if you're not ready, you better get ready. You better get ready quick. You feel me? I mean, that quick. Get ready. And look, he'll take care of him. You know he will. And Danielson will carry this match. Maybe Jack will cost some spots. I don't have any idea how. It's up to them. It's their match, right? Of course. But I think it's going to be a really, really good match. Is it going to be the best match of the night? I think it'll be one that will be better than maybe you think. And then again, there's no disrespect to Jack. I think Jack's a fine worker. But is it AEW World Championship level today? on September 6th, 2024? Maybe not. But you know how's a great way to prove me and everybody else wrong? Show up tomorrow night. Show up and show off. Again, everything I say is meant to be professional and is not meant to target anyone on a personal level. So I mean, I'm hoping for a good match. Ray says, can't stand Jack Perry. He's getting a shot because he's got nothing to lose when he loses to Brian. Yeah. Maria says, I'm one of the people who was disappointed with Jack. I'm not disappointed it's him, but I would rather have seen someone else here. Toby says, Brian make Jack look like $1 million. I think we can agree on that. Faye says, Christian has the chip. Yes. As interesting as it be, Darby has a shot at Grand Slam. Yes. I know why Christian has the chip. I can't tell you. I suck. I apologize. Ray says if Christian catches chip and wins the belt, I'll puke. I do not think that's going to happen. Anything could happen. I do not think that'll be what you see. I happen to believe that Danielson's last match in AEW will be against Jon Moxley. I could be wrong. But I've said this for a month now, I think, and I'm sticking to my guns. I think his last official full-time pro wrestling match will be against Mox. That's what I think. Joseph, I don't know that anyone's going to give Tessa a second chance. I don't know. I can't really answer that because I don't know. I mean, Tessa's not even been brought in by Japan for those titles, like Stardom. Right? That to my knowledge, she hasn't, has she? Oh, Sugar Shane, I'm glad you brought this up. It was interesting on the comment Mox made to Jack Perry. Yeah. I said, you're a sweet kid. You want to solidify yourself as a heel, go pay someone in the elite a compliment. Mox is, for whatever it's worth in All Elite Wrestling, Mox is a heel. At least right now. Ask me tomorrow if he is still. I don't know. It may change.
I found this on the web.
Even Siri doesn't know. See that? Did you hear that? That's crazy. I'm going to leave that in. You'd think I'd take that out, but I'm not taking that. I'm leaving that in. Isn't that fun? No, but yeah, I won't get too deep in the weeds here. I've made my feelings known on heel and face in that company, and I'm not going to bore you with it here. We've been here an hour and some change here. I'm not going to do it. You guys know how I feel here. Jeff says Jack Perry needs to go back to the original Perry. I disagree. This fake tough Perry is boring. I don't know if I'd call him fake tough. I like the gimmick change. I like the change in his look. I'm actually okay with the music. I think it's okay to some point. I can't say I love it, but I don't want to see him go back to that. At least not right now. That's me. They says I love a heel Mox. Look, what's the old saying? This guy could read the phone book and he'd still be entertaining. He'd still be over. It's how I feel. I think Mox could do everything right now. Anything he wanted to and get over. I mean, Tessa was out of business not by choice. She had to be out of the business because no one would hire her. Nobody'd pick her up on a full-time basis. I mean, especially not on, national television, right? Fernando says, Jack needed the attitude change, just needs to be booked properly. Boy, from your lips to the ears of God, my friend. Chad, too bad, says, I don't care for the goat mask, but the rest. I am not trying to be a contrarian for any of you kids, all right? But I actually really like the goat mask. It took a while to grow on me. I'm okay with it. I know why they're still doing the scapegoat thing, because they still want to tie this back to CM Punk, which is freaking wild to me. I can't explain that. Robbie says, I'll talk about I'm a bit confused by the Moxley comment Tony Schiavone about this isn't his company. In my opinion, I do not think he was talking to Tony Schiavone. I think he was talking to Tony Khan. Because we've seen multiple times now, especially recently, yeah, we have seen Tony Schiavone get something in his ear from Tony Khan. I've just been informed by Tony Khan. So I think Mox was talking to Khan. Maybe I'll be wrong, but that's what I think. Or he just did that because he wanted to do it and it's not going to go anywhere. I know what you're thinking. They don't do that, Tom. Hush your mouth. Well, no. because they have done that before. Not all the time. Not all the time. This company does very well at long-term storytelling, more than what people give them credit for. We're about to get into that. Chad Too Bad says, so is it Shane? We talked about that. I gave my thoughts. I personally don't think it is, but nothing would surprise me. One more match to go, kids. I think we're all picking Danielson to retain here, yeah? One more match to go, and I usually leave the world title to the end, but not this time. Swerve Strickland versus Hangman Adam Page in a lights-out steel cage match. I hope this is truly lights out. I hope they don't light up the crowd, and it's old NWA style, like the old bunkhouse matches they used to have, and the old steel cage matches too. Turn the lights out in the crowd, put spotlights over the ring, have the lighting rig over the ring, and everything else turned off. I'm so here for that. This is going to be huge. Anyone watching that right now knows it's going to be huge. This is going to be massive. Chad Too Bad says Swerve wins. They're not going to have Swerve lose 2 straight. I disagree. I think Hangman's going over. Hangman has to get his pound of flesh. If Hangman doesn't get his pound of flesh, this will never be over. It may never be over, period. Let's get that straight. This thing could be Hunter and Sean for the next 5 years, for all we know. Something they could always go back to and play it however they wanted to and tap that vein whenever they need a main event match, and it works and it makes money, sells tickets. But at least for right now, for this stretch, Hangman's got to get his pound of flesh. And I don't think he gets that if he loses. I think he gets that if he wins. So I think Hangman's going over tomorrow night. Now, long-term storytelling has been done between these two guys. Yeah, we've been talking about these two guys versus each other for quite some time, right? But this thing with Swerve's, the house he grew up in and all that, that happened. And 10 minutes later, Hangman burns it down. This is one of the complaints, many complaints I've had, not many. And again, they're this big. Maybe no one else thought about that but me. But to me, I'm like, why couldn't we have seen this house last week? I'll tell you why, because of All In. Because why wouldn't he burn it down then? You see what I'm saying? I don't know. If you're going to do this house gimmick, save it till the next one, right? Whatever. Like, it is what it's done now. Things in ashes. By the way, I told Jay and Joe earlier in our Facebook chat that I'd like to think that Hangman was drinking gasoline as the thing was going up behind him because he's freaking lost his mind. That he's sitting around talking to people who aren't there and swatting at bugs that aren't flying around, and he hasn't showered in 2 weeks, and right? I'm just saying. I go Hangman for the win. I go Hangman for the win. Just said Swerve and Page in a cage sounds boring. K match is usually boring. I disagree. It's okay that you feel that way, but I disagree. I think it depends on who's booked and how it's booked and how they work. I think this is going to be great, honestly. Danny says Page gets arrested for arson. Well, Swerve didn't get arrested for breaking and entering, so let's be honest, right? Pro wrestling going to pro wrestle. You know what I mean? It's going to do what it's going to do. Fernando says this can be the best match of the night and match of the year. Even over Danielson versus Swerve? Great match. That's the hot take right there, man. Hot take. Tubby says that was Hangman's best promo. It was very good. I can't say it was his best, but it was up there for me. Sugar Shane says I'm enjoying the two best feuds in a long time: Hangman versus Swerve and Drew McIntyre versus Punk. Yeah, I'm okay with the Punk and McIntyre thing, but at some point, I'm not saying it has to end right now, but at some point there are moments in that where I feel like, man, they're really trying to extend this. You know what I mean? When you're feuding over the fact that the guy took his bracelet and then he tears that bracelet up. All right, so they're going to have another one. But what if Punk wins that? Isn't it over then? But I don't know. Do they have chemistry? Do you guys think they have a lot of chemistry in that feud? I'm just asking a question. Faye says the Cowboy S promo was Hangman's best promo. Pretty good. It's pretty freaking good. JP says, and is a cage match supposed to end a feud, not a middle match when we all knew this was going to continue? JP, here's what I'll tell you. Cage match is supposed to end the feud, and it's engineered for the face to go over. Number one, we don't know who the heel and face is here. Number two, it's 2024. All rules set before this time are out the window. Gone, out of here. Can't even see them. Thrown out with the trash. You're not wrong, but you're not right either. Look, I don't make the rules here. Pro wrestling just gotten weirder and weirder since I was a teenager, man. Stuff that you could count on, you can't count on anymore. And look, things need to evolve to stay around. Do you know what I mean? Things have to evolve. They have to get better or they have to change. It is what it is. I mean, unless you're AC/DC, then nothing changes. By the way, legends, no disrespect. I'm just saying. Like, there's very few things that don't change. You know what I mean? Pro wrestling's changed, man. Doesn't mean I love it. Doesn't mean I love it. Maria says Wednesday was the best go-home show segment in the history of wrestling. Another hot take. Bring me the hot takes. Serve them up sizzling on a platter. Remember those steakhouse days, you guys who have a little bit of mileage on you? The old steakhouses with the silver metal plates and the black plastic holders, and that plate be sizzling, right? Or you go to a Mexican restaurant and you get the fajitas and they're sizzling on the skillet. Bring me the hot takes, man. I'm here for it. Burn me up. No pun intended towards Hangman Page, by the way. Isn't this karma for Swerve? Yes. Are we supposed to feel sorry for him? I have no idea. I really don't. Chris says I haven't liked their matches that much, Punk and Drew, but I have enjoyed the feud for the most part. Well, that's an answer. It's a good answer. Yeah. Faye says the point of Swerve and Hangman is that when they drink each other's blood and left scars on one another, they contain pieces of each other and they're destined to fight forever. Ooh. You're not wrong, but ooh, still. Ooh, that's nasty. Chris says, I mean, Austin enticing it into a pull apart, I would say, if not best, more important in wrestling. Yeah, I get that. Chad Too Bad says Swerve started this a long time ago. Agreed. He started the whole thing. If not for Swerve, they wouldn't be working. JP says, I was hoping the feud was going over with McIntyre and Punk. Why continue? We had such a good finish to the feud. Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with that. Well, kids, there is your card as of right now today. Everyone watch Collision tonight. Maybe there'll be more matches added. You'll know what the Continental Championship match is going to be. But until that time, let's open the floor. Let's go for about 5 minutes. We're going to get out here and start our weekend. That's an hour and a half for the show here. We've been running long here lately, baby, haven't we? It's all right. You guys are having fun, aren't you? My black's washed out, isn't it? I need a darker shade of black. You know what black you wear? The darkest shade you can find on the rack. That's the shade you wear. All right, Ray. Boy, you gave Joe heartburn last week with your question. Joe was like beside himself. Ray says Bismarcky or Rob Bass, and part 2, I'll say Rob Bass. And part 2, Q-Tip or ODB. Q-Tip. Love ODB. It's got to be Q-Tip. If Adam invited you to the grand opening of the Adam Cole furniture store in which you got to pick a piece of furniture for free, what furniture would you take? I'm all about a comfortable recliner. I haven't had one in a while. I'm all about that. Because you have another piece of furniture. Yes. Later, we're going to go out to dinner, get barbecue brisket, French fries, and cold lemonade, plus a slice of apple pie. Yes, you can have the apple pie too, unless it's got a little bit of ice cream on it. I like apple pie. I'm not in love. I'd rather have cherry pie. Everyone, keep your nasty comments to yourself. Fernando says with Hangman and Swerve, this feud will last forever, like Dusty versus Tully. How about Magnum versus Tully too? Yeah, but you're not wrong. But Magnum versus Tully, man. Remember the I Quit match in Steel Cage? I'm telling you right now, that's still in the top 5 best I Quit matches of all time for me. For me. Fernando says, do you think Kevin Kelly is going to win his lawsuit in his case at AEW? No, I do not. I'm not an attorney. I only play one on TV. I do not. It's a defamation of character lawsuit. JR made a good point on socials the other day when he said that Tony Khan's got a lot more money than Kevin Kelly's attorneys have. He's not wrong. Do I think they're going to settle? I can't answer that. I don't know. Yeah. I do not think he's going to win. That's me talking. Kevin Kelly got a little weird. A little really weird. And it's a shame, but it is what it is. By the way, don't sue me. I got no money for you. All right. Chris says you have to erase one of these managers from history. Well, I ain't got to do it. Oh, I see. It showed up for you. Paul Bearer, Jim Cornette, the brain of Jimmy Hart. How about instead of erasing one from history, I will say which of these managers is the one that, in opinion based, because it's all subjective, yeah, but which manager maybe was not as strong as the other three. If I say Paul Bearer, I still get to keep Percy Pringle, right? Cop out, but that's what I'll say because the brain accomplished too much. Pardon me, the brain accomplished too much. Jimmy Hart, too much. Cornette, too much. Not that Paul Bearer didn't do anything. Please don't get some misunderstanding. He got a 7-foot zombie over, and that thing could have been laughed out the building. Probably should have been. But then you saw the guy working, you're like, wow, right? Apart from all the hoo-ha lightning from the ceiling and all that nonsense, it worked. Paul Bearer deserves a lot of credit for that. Sugar Shane says, what's up, JBL appearing in TNA and indie shows? I can't answer that really, but I think it's cool. I think it's cool. By the way, he still owes me $500. It's all right. I'll wear it like a badge of honor. Still owes me $500. I don't suspect I'm going to get that money, but it's okay. I don't really want it now, right? Toby says, do you think Buddy Matthews ever gets a serious singles push? Anything's possible, but apart from the collective of House of Black, I think it would not a hard sell, but I think it'd be challenging. I hate to keep giving cop-out answers. I really don't mean to, kids, but it's my serious answer. It's my serious answer. Faye and JP both say cherry pie is way better than apple pie. I agree. How will ratings work when WWE goes to Netflix? The streamers measure it based on downloads, and those things, what factors into downloads, I believe, is I can't answer that 100% honestly. But here's what I'll tell you. Shows like Cowboy Bebop, the live action Cowboy Bebop that was on Netflix, I believe, they got canceled after one season. Still a shame. And other shows that they get pulled after one season. Like, they're looking at downloads. They're looking, I think, at watch time, I believe. And I'm sure they have information based on, don't know how they know this, because this seems to be very granular, right? But I suspect there's a way for them to know the percentage of, on average, like if the show's an hour, right? The percentage of that hour that's actually viewed versus that's not. I don't know if they can get that granular or not, but if they can, wow, that's impressive. Yeah. So that would be my answer, is that if they're going to base it on downloads, and you know, if look, it's WWE, they're going to get ratings. They'll get them. Here's my question to everybody here. Who doesn't have Netflix, but you're going to buy it to watch Raw? That's my question back to you. Robbie says, with many wrestling legends still around, who do you think Tony Khan could hire backstage to give the newcomers wrestling in AEW a little more spotlight? To give the newcomers wrestling in AEW, you mean to be in the ring with them, or to help from an advisory or like a booking or like a producing angle? I don't know. I think Jack Roberts is probably one of the smartest guys that's ever been in the ring. If he's in a good place, and he seems to be, and they can make use of him, I would make use of Jake Roberts. That's me talking. I would think Sting, if Steve Bourne would want something backstage, I think that'd be a great fit as well, if they wanted to. NWA or Cypress Hill. I have to say NWA just because of what they accomplished, because of how unique they were. It's tough. It's tough, man. Why do you think Psycho Sid Vicious is not in the Hall of Fame? He will be now, Maria. I know that's horrible to say, but I bet he gets in now. Shame he wasn't in before. Chris says pecan pie is the best. Fight me. Oh, dude, yeah, no, for real. Pecan pie is freaking great. Toby, thank you, my friend, for hanging out with us. I appreciate you very much. Maria says, do you think AEW All In can be held in Jerry's World sometime soon? Perhaps. Perhaps. I think you have to know. Like, they would never have run Wembley if they couldn't have got 81,000 last year or 54,000 this year. My opinion. I don't think they'd be running Australia if they weren't convinced they could do it. I don't know what factors that plays in. I'm sure they go in, like, if you're going to go in and build something, if you're going to run your own business somewhere, you kind of need to know what the community you're building in, what shows you're going to run, that kind of thing. Like, you wouldn't put like a grocery store in the middle of a cornfield and the closest people are 45 miles away. It wouldn't make a lot of sense. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of the same thought process. They must know they're going to do business in Australia. They must know. They must have scouted already. That'd be my answer. You have to know going in. You have to know going in. Faye says, I'm not looking forward to the price hike that WWE will cause it to have. I've had Netflix for a good long time. I'm getting tired of Netflix raising their prices on me. It sucks because they don't give you any more value. Because for as many new originals as they release and movies they get and shows they get and everything, they pull just as much content from the platform. CRP says not really backstage, but a guy like Samoa Joe, also a vet, people should be looking at too and talking to. I agree. Rumors are Dynamite are going to 3 hours. I have not heard that. My opinion is don't do it. Keep it a nice, tight 2 hours. My God, you got Ring of Honor, you got Collision, you got Rampage. I mean, good Lord, you got pay-per-view. You don't need 3 hours of Dynamite. Now, could they do it and fill the 3 hours up? You freaking better know it. All the talent they got? Are you freaking kidding me? You can see stars in 1 hour and not see them for the other two. Just send them home. When they're done, they're done. Let them catch their plane out and still be jam-packed full of talent. Do they need 3 hours? I do not believe they need 3 hours. Rhea says Brian and Adam Copeland and Christian can be the veteran presence for younger talent. That's a good one. Do I think the Joker 2 will be a good movie? I'm not a fan of the first Joker. I saw it. It was disturbing in ways that it shouldn't have been disturbing. I don't like the idea of glamorizing villains in movies. I know that sounds a little weird maybe to some, but I'm not here for that. It's a thing for me. By the way, kids, if you know anything about me, you know that other than being a podcaster, I am also a writer. Okay. And I'm currently publishing on Substack and on Medium. Both of my pages are free for you to follow. I charge nothing right now. Here's a piece I just posted on Friday. Why do we glamorize pop culture villains? By the way, if you go onto Medium or Substack and you find me on those platforms, follow me. Again, it's no charge. Read my stuff. I'm a sucker for engagement. I'm a sucker for feedback. If you got thoughts or comments, you agree, you think I'm full of crap, whatever it is, please, by all means, share your thoughts with me because I'm all here for it. Anytime you want to share, I'm here. Here's my Medium link also, kids. I appreciate you very much. Go check them out, man. Again, you're not putting any money in my pocket by following me, and I'm not charging you a dime, okay? So I just like to write, and I like to get my stuff out there. So please and thank you. Sugar Shane says, Blast from the Past. You remember tag team that was called the Rock? I do remember them. Didn't we talk about them last time? Rock and Roll RPMs? I try not to go too quiet on here because I have to remember I'm producing audio for the show immediately after we stop. And there'll be chunks of silence. And if you listen to the audio version, you're like, is the show over? Is there a glitch? What happened? Who? Oh, I'm not going to try to guess, Shane. I can't remember who was in the tag team. Yes, I do remember that tag team. But I can't remember. Remind me who's in the team. Chad Too Bad says best heel talker, Christian Cage. Opinions, Roddy Piper. Done. How about Roddy Piper and Jake Roberts? Best intellectually motivated, despicable heel would be Jake. Most entertaining heel talker, Roddy. Love Christian. To me, Christian's not in the top 5, and I love him. But that's me talking. Fernando says, with Hogan comments comparing himself to Chris Benoit, does Hogan need... Hulk Hogan has needed to shut up for quite some time. Quite some time.
Hot garbage.
I don't hit that button when I like something.
Hot garbage.
That dude has been overdue for that button for a long time.
Hot garbage.
Enough's enough. Stop talking. Freaking stop talking. Talking about if fans can forgive Chris Benoit, they can forgive me. Look, I pride myself on not being the guy to throw shade. And I pride myself on being the guy to not go after anybody. And I'm not attempting to go after Hulk Hogan here. But here's what I'll say about this mess. As my mom would say, it's a mess. When it comes to Hulk Hogan, stop freaking talking. Your ability to be relevant in the world of professional wrestling ended a long time ago. Now, that's an unknown podcaster in North Carolina talking versus a guy who has traveled the world and main evented in front of 92,000 people. Is known the world over. There's kids in countries who have Hulk Hogan t-shirts. You know what I mean? In other like around the world. Is he an icon? Okay. Am I? No. So what do I know? That's probably what he would think, and that's fine. But when you show your true colors and you continue to show them, talk about a guy that never really truly apologized for anything he did. That's one of them. That's one of them. Time to stop talking. Saying. Maria says, Ric Flair, $1 Million Man. Ric Flair, how do I leave out Rick? Rick, fantastic. Best all-around heel promo of all time would be Ric Flair. Best intellectual heel promo would be Jake. Most entertaining, Roddy versus Rick. That's a tough one. See what I'm saying? Mike Davis and Tommy Lane. God, man, I would not have remembered that. Well done. Well, guess what, kids? I've talked a whole bunch today, and my throat is wrecked. Wrecked. And I'm about to go start my weekend, and all you kids should too. Before we get out of here, check this out.
Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast, reviews all episodes of the Apple TV series, with opinions from both sides of the Atlantic, featuring Tom Clark in the US and Jay Luft and Joe Higgins in the UK. Join them as they dive into all 3 seasons of Ted Lasso, with both video and audio versions available on boinkstudios.com.
10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow morning, episode 2, entitled I Don't Want to Go to Chelsea, from season 3 of Ted Lasso, will be released on the YouTube and on boinkstudios.com, B-O-I-N-K, boinkstudios.com. That's all the stuff I'm going to try to sell you, and it didn't cost you a dime. All I'm asking for is you to hit the subscribe button and the like button and the share button everywhere we are, and I would very much appreciate it, including here on the Facebook, on the YouTube, on the Twitter, on the LinkedIn, wherever you want to share. Again, much appreciated. You guys are the best. Do me a favor, get out there, have yourselves a good weekend. Be happy, be healthy, be safe. Enjoy All Out tomorrow night. Watch you some other pro wrestling this weekend. Tune in next Friday. We'll be back here, barring any unforeseen circumstances. We will return. Check out the links I dropped in the chat. I do appreciate your time very much. I appreciate you guys very much. Everybody have a great weekend. We'll see you next week. Everybody be good. Talk to you soon. See you Friday.